Hi, this is Marty from Blue Lightning TV. I'm going to show you how to make your color photos more engaging, fun, and personal. You can apply these techniques to virtually any photo. Open a color image you'd like to use. I downloaded this one from Shutterstock.com. The first step is to convert it into a smart object so we can make adjustments to it non-destructively. It'll also allow us to replace the photo with a different one without having to redo all the effects. To do this, click the icon at the upper right of the Layers panel and click Convert to Smart Object. Make a copy of it by pressing Ctrl or Command J. Click off the eyeball next to the copy to hide the layer, and click the thumbnail of the bottom layer to make it active. Go to Filter and Filter Gallery. Open the Texture folder and click Grain. Make the intensity 20, the contrast 50, and the grain type clumped. Then click OK. Go back to Filter and Lens Correction. Click the Custom tab and drag the vignette amount all the way to the left. Then click OK. Click the Adjustment Layer icon and click Hue Saturation. Drag the saturation all the way to the left to remove all the color. We want to make a new layer below the adjustment layer. To do this, Control-click or Command-click on the new layer icon. Open your rectangular marquee tool and drag a rectangle over the general area you'd like to revert back to color. Go to Edit and Stroke. I'll make the stroke 30 pixels. However, depending on the resolution of your photo, you may want to use a different amount. Make the location inside and click the color box. Pick white. Then click OK on both windows. To deselect it, press Ctrl or Command D. To angle your frame, open the Transform tool by pressing Ctrl or Command T. Go to a corner, and when you see a curved double arrow, rotate it to an angle you like. To reposition it over the area, go inside the transform and drag the frame. Then press Enter or Return. Control-click or Command-click on the thumbnail of the frame to make a selection of its shape. Press Q to make it into a quick mask. Open your Paint Bucket tool. Make sure your foreground color is white and contiguous is checked. Click outside the frame to delete the quick mask, leaving just the quick mask inside the frame intact. Press Q again to revert it back into a selection. Invert the selection by pressing Ctrl or Command-Shift-I. Make the top layer active. Keep in mind, the photo in this layer is in color because it doesn't have an adjustment layer above it that desaturates its color. Click the Layer Mask icon to make a layer mask of the selection next to it. Make the layer visible. Control-click or Command-click on the thumbnail of the frame layer again to make a selection of its shape. Press Q to make it into a quick mask, and click the Paint Bucket tool inside the frame to delete the quick mask. Press Q to revert it into a selection. Make the frame layer active. Fill the selection with white, and deselect it. Because we fill the selection with white, this layer is no longer a frame, it's a white box. Double-click on it to open its layer style window. Click Drop Shadow. Make the opacity 40% and uncheck Global Light. Make the angle 138 degrees, the distance 50 pixels, and the size 20 pixels. Then click OK. Next, we'll enlarge the color photo. To do this, Shift-click on the top layer to highlight the top 3 layers, and open your Transform tool. Zoom out by pressing Ctrl or Command and the minus sign on your keyboard. Go to a corner, and when you see a diagonal double arrow, press and hold Alt or Option plus Shift and drag it out to a size you like. Then reposition it and press Enter or Return. To fit it back onto your canvas, press Ctrl or Command 0. We're ready to add text. Open your horizontal type tool. Choose a font. I'm using a handwritten style font called MT Matto Script Normal. If you'd like to use it as well, I provided its link in the video description or project files. I'll make the size 70 points, sharp, and left alignment. Click the color box and click a color on your photo that you think would work well for your text. You can always change it later. Then click OK. Click on your document and type your text. Double-click on an empty area of your text layer to open the Layer Style window. Click Outer Glow and change the blend mode to Normal. Click the color box and pick black or white or a gray tone that will make your text pop more depending on the background behind the text. For this example, I'll pick black and click OK. Make the size 50 pixels and click OK. Open your Transform tool to rotate, position, and resize it. Then press Enter or Return. This is Marty from Blue Lightning TV. Thanks for watching.